you love cars, you've got to come down and see it.
I don't know any place that has a car scene like Naples.
It's almost like a rolling car show. Anything that you could imagine is here.
People come in from all over the country to enjoy what we have to show here in Naples.
It's incredible. It's like nothing else. I jokingly say that Naples is a social club with a car problem. But what brings us together initially are the cars. What keeps us together is just, the camaraderie and stuff. I was always around cars and I admired those cars I thought were beautiful. And my mother had 5 children. The oldest was 50 and the youngest was 4 weeks. And my brothers were pretty crafty. They convinced my mother that a really good family car would be a Mustang. There's only 4 seats to begin with and not enough seat belts. And so she bought it. Their plan was obviously it's not really a good family car and I'm turning 17, so I'll be able to buy that car. So my brother had the car, then my other brother had the car, then I had the car. That was my first car, and then I've been into cars my whole life. Ferraris were something that were sort of not in reach for me for a long time. One of my friends is a Porsche guy and a Ferrari guy. He's in both clubs. And he said Porsches are great cars, but Ferraris have a soul. From a performance standpoint, from a styling standpoint, the cars have just been beautiful and performed. And they also historically have best resale values. This car behind me, this GTO, that car was probably about $200,000 when it came out, and it's probably worth $5 million today. Not that they all do that, but in terms of if you went across the whole spectrum of brands, Ferraris, they've outperformed pretty much anybody that makes a reasonable number of cars. So you've got styling, it's Italian, it's great heritage performance, lots of wins over time, great looking cars, and they have that soul that you can't put your finger on. Naples is unique in that it's fairly well off. People have some money to spend, and I think the climate adds to that. There's some great car clubs here, which I think it gives people an organized way to get together. Just a great culture, and I think the car show itself probably brought a lot of that together. Cars on Fifth is an event that takes place one day a year. DuPont Registry calls it the best one-day show in America. And it's on Fifth Avenue, Naples, a beautiful place to shop, a beautiful place to eat. And it's just the right footprint, I think, for what we're trying to do. We started pretty small. In 2004, we had 20 cars. This past year, we had 750 cars, 30,000 attendees, 150 vendors, and multiple events. And we raised $2.9 million for charity. So it's come a long way in 20 years or so.
Beautiful car here at the car show at Cars on Fifth, and we're having a fabulous time.
First time I've been here and I'm quite impressed. There's a tremendous selection of beautiful cars.
Oh my gosh,
Amazing.
If you love cars, you've got to come down and see it.
This car show is just something that is relaxing and you can stroll through, and best time of the year, come to Naples, Florida, it's a winner.
A lot of beautiful cars to see.
It's just a lot of everything. There's like really nice exotics, sports cars like this. It's just great to see everything.
We don't have this kind of thing in Michigan at all. Not to this level.
It's incredible. It's like nothing else.
I'm in heaven.
I've been around the world. This is a first-class show.
I do it every year. You couldn't keep me away if you wanted to.
One of the challenges we ran into was getting some of the most valuable cars on the street. I had a car here last year the guy had turned down $88 million for. That car, I can't put it on Fifth Avenue with all the people. So I had this vision several years ago to create this VIP area, which was kind of an off-site enclosed area. And that allowed me to bring in some of these really high-end cars where they're protected. We've added other events. And we did something like a Jay Leno's Garage at Ultimate Garages. Jay Leno came to it last year also. That was a lot of good collections there, and we brought him some other special cars that unique. A couple of them he had not seen before, which is hard to find for Jay. And he was a great host. He auctioned off some tours of his garage while we were there. Everybody had fun, and we raised a bunch of money there. After that, we added a Jetport reception. That's an evening event, and so it's at the Naples airport. Very nice, high-end. It's not a lot of necessary cars. There'll be a dozen or so cars, but we have jets there, and so it's really become a really nice annual event. Just a great culture, and how it evolved, it's hard to say, but I think people going back to restoring cars that they had when they were young, you see a lot of that, and there are great people to restore cars here and build cars.
My name is Jeff Barr. I own BPR Automotive Engineering here in Naples, Florida. We've been in Naples for about 22 years now, and we are a hobby that has grown into something quite a bit more than a hobby. We have 20-some employees and 16,000 square feet. We build custom cars, we do restorations, we do maintenance on existing cars, and we specialize in taking care of people's car collections.
What we do in this room is more of the complex jobs where we're doing frame-off modifications and changes and restoration at the same time. Everything that we do in here is an upgrade process. Rarely are we doing just a straight-up restoration. We use all modern engines that are computerized, fuel-injected, supercharged in a lot of cases. The projects in this room last anywhere from a year to 2 years, depending on what we're doing. What our job becomes in this room is to make something that looks like what they want it to be, but drives like their Mercedes.
I think the car culture is as strong as it is in Naples because a lot of people have a real inherited desire to have cars and enjoy driving.
This is the baby. It's a 1958 Speedster in ruby red, and we just love taking the cars out on the weekend. We have the beaches, we have museums, we have everything here in Naples. With the Porsches, they have a motto. It's not just about the cars, it's about the people. And here especially, it just brings everybody together for the love of Naples, but also for the love of cars.
The volume of collector cars in Naples is unbelievable. About a third of the units here are full of cars. It's original stuff. The same way if you collect any kind of anything, whether it's paintings, whether it's sculptures, you want original stuff. This is all original stuff, and if you maintain them correctly, they'll always be beautiful.
Kind of like an addiction. You get one, you want another one.
Until you run out of garage space.
You need another garage. Right, right.
I have another garage.
Well, my car collection's a little bit unusual because I don't tend to focus on one model or one particular genre. I like old stuff, I like new stuff, I like exotics, I like things that are just easy to drive. I started collecting cars when I was younger, started working on them when I was 12 years old, and have just been in love with cars my whole life. When I retired, I actually had the chance and the time to be able to start to collect them and focus in on cars that I liked, and I now have 18 of them, which my wife reminds me of all the time. Years ago, I started out racing MG Midgets and Lotus Elans and things like that. And then I started back to racing with Porsches and joined the Inter Series, the Porsche Inter Series with Porsche Caymans, and then graduated from there into the PDK transmissions, and then went on and was asked to join the early stages of the Ferrari Challenge Series and just sort of never looked back. I try to go for cars that have some meaning or significance to me. For example, the 458 Spider over there, I adore because it's one of the last naturally aspirated Ferraris that they're going to make in that series. It's also one of the cars that I've raced. I have a challenge version of that I've raced and I still race. So that holds a lot of meaning for me. There are just cars that have meant something to me during my lifetime. And that in itself has become problematic because when you're a collector of cars, you're supposed to turn them over. But I've actually gotten myself to a point where I'm actually quite fond of the ones that I have, so I'm not selling as many as I used to. None of us were born and raised in Naples. You know, we're all transplants here from some other place. And when you have something like that, people look for things that can bind them together or things that they share as a mutual interest. And cars here just are a natural.
ビジネスモデルとしましては、右ハンドルのスカイライン GTR をメインとした JDM カーを扱っております。で、ビジネスを始めてアメリカで5年目になります。まずその車が好きというのはどのメーカーでも共通というのはあるとは思うんですけれども、このネープルズというともうワクワクするぐらいいろいろな車が走ってて、もちろん高級スポーツカー、高級外車というのも多く目にする中で、やはり皆さん特別感、やっぱり自分だけのオリジナル含めて特別感っていうのを車文化を楽しんで求めている方が多いのではないかなと思います。やはり右ハンドルという時点で注目度は高いと思いますし、そこに持ってきてやはり私が大好きな日本が誇るスポーツカー、日本を代表する GTR、 これがやはり特別感、車好きには響いて着実になんて言うんでしょうね、お客様が増えてきたのかなとも思ってます。 一番はやっぱりこう私がここでもちろん車のビジネスももちろんですし、そうねしていかなければって言った時にこうやっぱりこう未来がなんだろう思い描きやすかった。ここで生活をしてるんだなが素直にここで生活してるんだろうな。
There's really not any place that I know of that you're going to see more diversification with desirable cars to look at than Naples. And it doesn't matter whether it's from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, present day, they come here first.
You're going to see cars on the street every single day here that you wouldn't see normally outside of this part of the world more than once or twice a year, if that.
I remember I had to come up here from downtown, nothing to do in the summertime, and I said, I wonder if I can drive a mile without seeing a Ferrari. I went 18 years without seeing a Ferrari. And I could not drive a mile in the summertime without seeing a Ferrari driving down the road. It's just unique in that way, this town. It's more laid back, and I think the people that just enjoy getting together and talking about cars and being with cars and enjoying themselves.
There's almost a cars and coffee or a show of some type in this town every single week. You just meet so many people where cars had been an integral part of their growing up, and it usually had something to do with working on them. And it's one of the things that today we kind of miss, because the younger generation today doesn't get the opportunity to experience picking up a wrench and putting a car back together and making something that didn't run and repairing something that's broken. I hope the enthusiasm continues with the younger generation for that type of thing. Once you've had that experience, then you tend to bond and you tend to identify with other people who feel the same way. And that's what makes it wonderful and what makes it a wonderful community.